Hey guys, it's Rachel here from Rachthestamper.wordpress.com, and I want to show you another nautical card today. I actually saw this on another stamper site. Her name is Dina Rico, and she had done a really neat striped card with the Botanical Blossom Builder Thinlit dies, and I thought that would look really great with a nautical card instead of having the flowers to have sea items. And then I remembered that I already made a card very similar to this. This is one that I just made now. I'll put the card that I made originally, oh, I don't even know how long ago it was, on my blog when I post it. But this is one that I just did now. But I'm actually going to show you how to do it two different ways. So what we did is there is a Knight of Navy is the base of the card, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, so it's a vertical fold card. And then what you want to do is you're going to take strips of Whisper White. You're going to cut them at 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4, so they line up. So these have them basically evenly spaced. What we did was you would put one on the top, and then you would put another one in to make the space and tape them so they were even. Now when I did my original card, I actually made it so I had a strip of blue at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to show you how to do that, but then I'm going to show you another variation on this card and how to make this card as well. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put our strips down. So originally I had, this is a complete strip of Whisper White. If you'll see, I just put it in 4 1/4 and then I just cut 3/4 inch strips. So you see, it will completely cover this. So what I'm going to do instead though is, I think I'm going to use 4, is I'm going to put some adhesive on and just space them out as I like them. So we're going to bring that down just a smidge and put the one at the bottom. And let's see, maybe one here. Okay. Just eyeball it. If you really want to measure, you certainly can. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just lazy. Not even going to say I'm not that anal. I'm just lazy. Okay, so there is going to be the base of our card. And what I did, so you wouldn't have to painfully watch this, is I stamped, so this one I did on red, and I know only cooked lobsters are red. I live in Maryland, we have crabs, same thing. But what I did is I stamped one in red, and then I stamped another that I actually stamped in the archival black, and I colored it in with the Aquapainter, and then I fussy cut it. And this is really painful. I did not want you to have to watch me do this. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to put this one up on some dimensionals, and we're going to adhere this. It really, I don't know, maybe I just am one that doesn't really mind cutting, but honestly I didn't think it was terrifically bad to cut, but that could just be me. I'm going to just trim a couple dimensionals so I can put a few on the weird spots. Claws. And then just one little one on the tail. And just before I get ahead of myself, the other thing I want to do is we're going to take, just to make this look a little bit more similar, we're going to take the little sign from the stamp set. It just says Nantucket Oceanside Inn, and we're going to just stamp it a couple of times. That is in chocolate chip. And then we're going to take Crumb Cake. We're going to just stamp this little saying. And then the other thing I'm going to do is just lightly, I'm a sponger. I'm going to sponge the edges of this. Makes it look kind of old. Okay. So I'm going to adhere this. This is a piece of Cherry Cobbler. I was going to do real red, but I hope they never get rid of this Cherry Cobbler paper. I really just love it. So, I don't know. It's just so much prettier than red to me. I think I use this a lot of times even on my Christmas cards instead of real red. I do like real red, but I tend to do the Cherry Cobbler. It's just, to me, it's a nicer color. All right, so I'm gonna stick him up here, and which is kind of neat because he's coming like jumping off the paper. He's gonna get you. And then we're also gonna use, this is in the, thought I'd add this to it. This is in the clearance section, I believe, still on the website. Baked brown sugar. It's the thick baker's twine. And I actually did this card before I had, they were still making some other kind of cool ribbon that I used, but they don't carry that anymore, so I don't want to tell you to use it because it's not going to be there. And I'm going to just, well, going to attempt to anyway, put this down with some mini glue dots. And these are nice because you can kind of wrap them around. If put one here and on there. I didn't put any sentiment on it again because, you know, you could use, oh geez, forgot to stick that down. You could use this for any occasion really. Birthday, Father's Day, Happy Beach Vacation Day, which sounds like a good thing to me. There we go. Okay. All right, so that's it. And then what I'm going to show you is how I did this one instead. So this one was just stamped red. So what I did when I made this was got my basic black. Let's see if I can find this again. You take your real red. I did use real red for this. Take your real red. You squeeze it, and it will make a little pool for you to use your Aquapainter. And come on, one more time, Mr. Lobster. Okay, so I'm gonna do this down here. Right, I'm gonna ink this up in the archival black. That's pretty good, and then just center it. Okay. And then you're going to take your Aquapainter, you just squeeze it so the water flows, and you want to just pick up a little bit of the red and just fill them in. Make it as dark or as light as you like. You can always adjust the flow of the water if you want it a little lighter. This is really very simple to do this way. You can always add a little bit more. This actually would turn out even lovelier if you decided to do it on the watercolor paper. And honestly, the other thing with this, the reason I'm showing you this way, because the first time I did it, I didn't do it this way. And I kind of thought, well, if you're gonna fussy cut this out, you definitely want to go outside of the lines, because that way you don't have those harsh white edges. If you're not going to fussy cut it out, however, it really isn't 100% important that you need to be right with the lines either, because, so you want to let this dry, obviously, but because what you're going to do is you're going to take, once again, your chocolate chip, and we'll just pretend like this is dry, and we'll just stamp this off like we did with the first card. And then we will take our Crumb Cake. Make sure the writing is in the correct direction. Then, where's my sponge? We'll just hit the edges of it with a little bit of sponging. And truly, there's little spots that kind of bled out there on the edges. You really don't notice as much. And once you put the whole card together, the only person that's going to notice is you, because that's how we all pick our cards apart. So definitely want to let that dry a little bit, and then you could layer it as I did. I had a little extra piece here of, well, it's not cut exactly to the correct dimensions, but you get the drift. You could layer that on there. To do it this way, I'll put a little piece of this on here as well, the big brown sugar. this one with the glue dot as well. Okay, so this is the second one we've done, but here's your card with him fussy cut and raised up on a dimensional. Here's one that I'm just going to stamp directly, and also you can tell the difference between the stripes, just a matter of preference. Kind of like the little gap, but the other thing you could do up here is, where do I have a stamp set? Hang on just one second. I know I have something that's going to fit in there. Oh, I thought I just had one right here. There you go. Just the ticket. I'm going to take this little happy birthday stamp here. Take this one off. And, oops. We'll stamp this right up here. And just in the interest of not stamping the, it says happy birthday to you. So I'm going to just take off the to you. We're going to just make this say just happy birthday. So we're going to ink that up. Take off the Post-it. And we can put that right here. There you go. A little crooked, but you get the point. You could put your little birthday greeting up there if you have a little extra white that you don't really like. You could space your white out differently. Anyway, many different ways to do this card. This is once again with the By the Tide lobster. Stampin' Up! People, if you're listening, we need a beautiful crab set for Maryland. Hope you guys like this card. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at rachthestamper@gmail.com. You can visit my blog at rachthestamper.wordpress.com. You can find me on Stampin' Up! I'm a demonstrator. Rachel Rife, R-I-F like in Frank E. Hope to hear from you soon. Thanks.